All right. Well, day 4 of 1825, where we are studying leadership. Just want to make sure that I'm on the right day. Yep, day 4 for what I see. Let's see, day 2. Yep, so day number 4. Let's go. All right. We're reading the 21 indispensable laws of leadership by John Maxwell. I was going to read communication again, but I think I'm going to step into number 5, competence. Now, why am I doing this? Because I desire, or I believe it's a vision, my vision to have 2,000 members. 2,000 members. Let me turn my light on so you can see better. And we'll jump into this book. Here we go. All right. So here we go. Competence. If you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come. All right. Competence goes beyond words. It's the leader's ability to say it, plan it, and do it in such a way that others know that you know how and know that they want to follow you. John Maxwell. The society which scorns excellence in plumbing, because plumbing is a humble activity and tolerates shoddiness in philosophy, because it is an exalted activity, will have neither good plumbing nor good philosophy. Neither its pipes nor its theories will hold water. John Gardner. All right, fanfare. Fanfare for a common man. Benjamin Franklin always thought of himself as an ordinary citizen, one of 17 children. Franklin was the son of a tradesman, a candle maker, who was far from wealthy. He experienced a typical childhood. He attended school for only 2 years, and at age 12, he was apprenticed to his father in the printing trade. Franklin worked hard and lived a simple life, governing his actions according to a set of 13 virtues, upon which he graded himself daily. At age 20, he started his own printing press. Had Franklin been content to work at his trade, his name would be little more than a footnote in Philadelphia's history. Yet he lived an extraordinary life. He was one of the fathers of American independence and a great leader of the emerging nation. He co-authored the Declaration of Independence, and he later helped write the Treaty of Paris, and the Constitution of the United States. He was the only man who signed all three, and he was selected to perform a difficult and dangerous secret diplomatic mission to Paris during the war to secure military and financial support for the revolution. What gave a northern tradesman the opportunity to exert so much influence among the wealthy, predominantly southern landholders who headed to war for independence? I believe it was Franklin's incredible competence. Benjamin Franklin excelled at everything he touched for 7 decades. When he started his own printing business in 1726, people believed Philadelphia could not support a third printer. But Franklin quickly established a reputation as the most skilled and industrious printer in town. But the Philadelphia tradesman wasn't content with only that accomplishment. Franklin's mind was curious, and he continually sought ways to improve himself and others. He expanded his publishing. His work included the noted Richard's Almanac. He did extensive experiments, excuse me, he did extensive experiments with electricity and coined many of the terms still associated with its use. He invented numerous items such as the potbelly stove, the catheter, and bifocals. And when he traveled frequently across the Atlantic Ocean, he took it upon himself to chart the Gulf Stream. His attitude towards life could be seen in an aphorism he wrote for his almanac. Hide not your talents, they for use were made. They for use were made. What's a sundial in the shade? The evidences of Franklin's talent were many. He helped establish Philadelphia's first library. He started the nation's first fire department. He developed the concept of daylight savings time, and he held many posts serving in the government. For the most part, Franklin was recognized for his ability, but sometimes he had to let his competence speak for itself. During a time when he was working on improvements in agriculture, he discovered that plaster made grains and grasses grow better. But he had a difficult time convincing his neighbors about the discovery. His solution, when spring arrived, he went to a field close to a path, dug out some letters into the field with his hands, put plaster at the root into the ruts, and then sowed seed over the whole area. As people passed that way in the following weeks, they could see green letters growing brighter than the rest of the field. They said simply, "This has been plastered." People got the message. We all admire people who display fleshing it out. We all admire people who display high competence, whether they are precision craftsmen, world-class athletes, or successful business leaders. But the truth is that you don't have to be Fabergé, Michael Jordan, or Bill Gates to excel in the area of competence. If you want to cultivate this quality, here's what you need to do. Number one, show up every day. There's a saying, all things come to him who waits. Unfortunately, sometimes it's just the leftovers from the people who got there first. That's a pretty good one. Mhm. Responsible people show up when they are expected, but highly competent people take it a step further or farther. They don't show up in body only, they come ready to play every day, no matter how they feel, what kind of circumstances they face, or how difficult they expect the game to be. These are competent people. Ready to play every day, no matter how they feel. Kind circumstances they face, or how difficult they expect the game to be. Number two, keep improving. Like Benjamin Franklin, all highly competent people continually search for ways to keep learning, growing, and improving. They do that by asking why. After all, the person who knows how will always have a job, but the person who knows why will always be the boss. Hmm. Number three, follow through with excellence. I've never met a person I consider competent who didn't follow through. I bet it's the same for you. Willa A. Foster remarked, quality is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, intelligent direction, and skillful execution. It represents the wise choice of many alternatives. Write that down. Quality is never an accident. It is always the result of high intention, sincere effort, intelligent direction, and skillful execution. It represents the wise choice of many alternatives. William A. Foster. Performing at a high level of excellence is always a choice, an act of the will. As leaders, we expect our people to follow through when we hand them the ball. They expect that a whole lot more from us. They expect that and a whole lot more from us as leaders. Feels like I'm writing just about everything tonight. Or this morning. What time is it? 5:23. An act of we expect our people when we hand them the ball in a whole lot more from us. Number 4. Accomplish more than expected. Highly competent people always go the extra mile. For them, good enough is never good enough. In Men in Midlife Crisis, Jim Conway writes that some people feel a weakening of the need to be a great man and an increasing feeling of let's just get through this the best we can. Never mind hitting home runs, let's just get through the ball game without getting beamed. Leaders cannot afford to have that kind of attitude. They need to do the job and then some, day in and day out. Day in and day out. Number 5, inspire. Highly competent leaders do more than perform at a high level. They inspire and motivate their people to do the same. Do the same. Okay. While some people rely on relational skills only to survive, effective leaders combine these skills with high competence to take their organization to new levels of excellence and influence. Let me read that again. While some people rely on relational skills only to survive, effective leaders combine these skills with high competence to take their organization to new levels of excellence. reflecting on it. Where do you stand when it comes to getting the job done? Do you attack everything you do with fervor and perform at the highest possible level? Or is good enough sometimes good enough? hmm When you think about people who are competent, you are really considering only three types of people: those who can see what needs to be happen, those who can make it happen, and those who can make things really happen when it really counts. When it comes to your profession, where do you consistently perform? Are you a thinker, a doer, or a clutch player? The better you are, the greater potential of influence you will have with your people. Bringing it home. To improve your competence, do the following: get your head in the game. Get your head in the game. If you've been mentally or emotionally detached from your work, re-engage. First, rededicate yourself to the job. Determined to give it the appropriate time or amount of undivided attention. Second, figure out why you have been attached. Do you need new challenges? Are you in conflict with your boss or coworker? Are you in a dead end job? Identify the source of your problems. Begin to plan to resolve it. Number two, redefine the standard. If you're not performing at a consistently high level, re examine your standards. Are you shooting too low? Cut corners? If so, hit your mental reset button and outline more demanding expectations for yourself. Number 3, find 3 ways to improve. Nobody keeps improving without being intentional about it. Do a little research to find 3 things you can do to improve your professional skills. Then dedicate the time and money to follow through. There you go. That's one of the reasons I'm doing this. So I can dedicate the time and now the money to follow through. I guess I've already have the money. I've already spent the money, I guess, to buy the books. Now it's time to put the books in you. I read a daily takeaway. I read an editorial in Texas Business not long ago that said, "We are truly the lost generation, huffing and puffing down the fast track to nowhere, always looking to the dollar sign for direction. That's the only standard we recognize. We have not built-in beliefs. We have no built-in beliefs, no ethical boundaries. You're only as good as your private standards." When was the last time you gave a task your absolute best, even though nobody but you would know it? That's competence. Let's go in. We got another half hour. So I'm going to start reading chapter 6. Courage. Courage is rightly esteemed the first of human qualities, because it is the quality that guarantees all others. Winston Churchill, British Prime Minister. Courage is fear that has said its prayers. Karl Barth. The Ace of Aces. What do these 3 men have in common? The auto racer who sets the world record at Daytona in 1914, the pilot who recorded the highest number of victories aerial combat against the Germans in World War I, and the Secretary of War's special advisor who survived the plane crash in 21 days on a raft in the Pacific during World War II. They all lived in dangerous circumstances. They all displayed courage and steely nerves under duress, and they all happened to be the same person, Eddie Rickenbacker. Excuse me. Wow. Wow. Meeting a challenge was never a big problem for Eddie Rickenbacker, whether it was physical, mental, or economic. When he was 12, his father died, and he quit school to become the family's primary breadwinner. He sold newspapers, eggs, and goat's milk. He worked in a glass factory, brewery, shoe factory, and foundry. Then as a teenager, as a teenager, wow. Excuse me. Then as a teenager, he started working as a race car mechanic, and at age 22, he began racing. 2 years later, he set the world record. When the United States entered World War One, Rickenbacker tried to enlist as an aviator, but he was overage and undereducated. So instead, he entered as a chauffeur and then talked his superiors into sending him to flight training. Despite not fitting in with his college educated fellow aviators, he excelled as a pilot. And by the time the war was over, he had logged 300 combat hours, the most of any pilot, survived 134 aerial encounters with the enemy, killed 26, claimed 26 kills, and earned the Medal of Honor, 8 Distinguished Service Crosses, and the French Legion of Honor. He was also promoted to captain and put in command of his squadron. This is no, this is not normal. This is unique courage. What is it? Maybe we all have it. Rickenbacker's prowess in the air caused the press to dub him the American Ace of Aces. When asked about his courage in combat, he admitted that he had been afraid. Courage, he said, is doing what you're afraid to do. There can be no courage unless you're scared. There can be no courage. Unless you're scared. That courage served the Ace of Aces well after World War One. In 1933, he became the vice president of Eastern Air Transport, later Eastern Airlines. Back then, all airlines existed only because they were subsidized by the government. But Rickenbacker thought they should be self-sufficient. He decided to completely change the way the company did business. Within 2 years, he made Eastern profitable, a first in aviation history. And when the President of the United States canceled all commercial carriers' air mail contracts, Rickenbacker took him, took him on and won. Rickenbacker led Eastern successfully for 30 years and retired at age 73. When he died 10 years later, his son, William, wrote, "If he had a motto, it must have been the phrase I've heard a thousand times: I'll fight like a wildcat," fleshing it out. When you look at the life of someone like Eddie Rickenbacker, you cannot help seeing great courage. It's easy to see in war heroes, but it's also present in everyday great leaders in business, government, in the church. Whenever you see significant progress in an organization, you know that the leader made courageous decisions. A leadership position doesn't give a person courage, but courage can give him a leadership position. That was true of Captain Eddie Rickenbacker. Larry Osborne offers this observation: the most striking thing about a highly effective leader is how little they have in common. What one swears by, the other warns against. But one trait stands out: the willingness to risk. That's true. As you approach the tough decisions that challenge you, recognize these truths about courage. Truths about courage. Number one, courage begins with an inward battle. Every test you face as a leader begins within you. The test of courage is no different. A psychotherapist, Sheldon Kopp, notes all the significant battles are waged within self. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's doing what you're afraid to do. It's having the power to let go of the familiar and forge ahead into new territory. That was true of Rickenbacker, and it can be true of you. All significant battles are waged within self. Courage is having the power. Of the familiar and forge into new territory. Number 2, courage is making things right, not just smoothing them over. Civil rights leader Martin Luther King Jr. declared, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in the moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy." Great leaders have good people skills, and they can get people to compromise and work together, but they also take a stand when needed. Courage deals with principle, not perception. If you don't have the ability to see when to stand up and the conviction to do it, you will never be an effective leader. Your dedication to potential must remain stronger than your desire to please or appease others. Wow, that's so many great quotes in this. Wow, my time is nearing completion already. This is about where he stands. Courage deals with principle, not perception. the ability to see. When the conviction to do it. You'll never be an effective leader. Your dedication to potential. These others. Number 3. Courage in a leader inspires commitment Courage is contagious, asserts evangelist Billy Graham. When a brave man takes a stand, the spines of others stiffen up. A show of courage by any person encourages others, but a show of courage by a leader inspires. It makes people want to follow him. My friend Jim Jim Meliado explains leadership is the expression of courage that compels people to do the right thing. To do the right thing. Okay. See, all right. Number 4. Your life expands in proportion to your courage. Fear limits a leader. Need that something. Fear, all caps, limits a leader. Roman historian Tacitus wrote, "The desire for safety stands against every great and noble enterprise. But courage has the opposite effect. It opens doors, and that's one of the most wonderful benefits. Perhaps that's why British theologian John Henry Newman said, 'Fear not that your life will come to an end, but that it will never have a beginning.'" Wow. Courage not only gives you a good beginning, but it also provides a better future. What's ironic is that those who do not have the courage to take risk and those who do experience the same amount of fears in life. Why so many gems? That's cool. What's ironic is that those who don't have the courage to take risk and those who do experience the same amount of fear. The only difference is that those who don't take chances worry about trivial things. If you're going to have to overcome your fear and doubts anyway, you might as well make it count. And we'll pick up from here tomorrow. Wow, that hour went kind of quick today. Man. Well, thank you for being with me today, studying leadership with me. Until next time, keep walking by faith. And always remember, whom the sun sets free is free indeed.